Phoenix Books presents The Amateurs, the story of four young men and their quest for an Olympic medal, written by Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist David Halberstam. This performance by Christopher Reeve is copyright 2014 Phoenix Books. It has been digitally remastered from the original 1986 Dove Books on tape sound recording.
It was not a celebrated event. It was an Olympic trial. No tickets were sold. Journalists were notably absent. The scullers of America existed in a world of their own. No chartered planes or buses ferried the athletes into Princeton. This was a world of hitched rides and borrowed beds, and meals were budgeted by appallingly hungry young men. The rowers were always hungry. Food was fuel, and they burned immense amounts of fuel. Christopher Wood of Cambridge, Massachusetts, the favorite to win the right to represent the United States in the single sculls, knew the Princeton area well. On this weekend, Tiff Wood drove down from Cambridge with a friend and competitor named Charlie Altacruz, both of their sculls strapped on Wood's car. Tiff Wood was a champion single-scull rower, perhaps the best American hope for a sculling Olympic medal in the 1984 Games. At 31, he was the personification of the amateur. He had put aside career, marriage, pleasure in his single-minded pursuit of excellence in a sport that few of his fellow countrymen cared about and that was absolutely without commercial rewards. He was the sentimental favorite as well. He'd been a spare on the 1976 Olympic team, but no one had become sick. He'd been the captain on the 1980 team, but Jimmy Carter had canceled U.S. participation that year. Most of Wood's contemporaries on the 1980 rowing team had swallowed their disappointment and withdrawn from competitive rowing. But Wood was different. The Olympic goal had continued to tantalize him. Without a chance to compete in the Olympics, his rowing career seemed incomplete. He had decided to stay with the sport for one more shot, the 1984 Olympics. On this weekend, two of Wood's principal opponents, John Biglow and Joe Bouscaren, both former Yale oarsmen, had driven down together. They had rowed in an informal race the previous Sunday against Tiff, and both had beaten him. Bouscaren was a talented and graceful oar who was somewhat smaller than both Biglow and Wood. More often than not, Bouscaren led for the first half of a race, and then Wood or Biglow passed him near the end. For Biglow, a former two-time national champion, who had been bothered by a bad back and who'd not rowed well in the past year, it had been a day of genuine celebration. For the first time in a year, he sensed he might be able to try the Olympic single-scull trials. He had spent the winter in his native Seattle and tried to find out what was wrong with his back. He had spent most of the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?